Hello, everybody. Welcome to Star Wars Culture. My name is Hannah.
And I'm Jordan. Can you hear me? My mic is kind of far today.
Yeah, no, I
I'm
can
also
hear you.
back. I wasn't here last week, so
Yes,
welcome
that's
back
right.
to me.
You were off.
Um,
You were at Watto's shop trying to get new
I was
parts.
yeah, I was trying
Yeah.
to get some power converters.
Yes,
It was a way
absolutely.
more complicated process than I ever wanted it to be, but it's fine. Um, but yes, today we have our news, Lego releases, some images of the new
Mhm,
upcoming Star Wars sets of 2021. That's some
mhm.
exciting stuff. And we take a look at and discuss what if these sets were really what we wanted,
Yeah. Were these the things we were looking for? These the Lego sets we're
with
looking for?
these toys we were
Uh,
looking for.
and also, we do have some breaking news we're going to be discussing first on up later on. Pedro Pascal comments on The Mandalorian season 3 filming, and has it begun filming? We're going to be talking about that a little later on, so stay tuned for that breaking news, only just broken, which we're going to talk about. And later on, we've got our classic meme review where we go through some of the best Lego Star Wars memes this week because everyone loves a good bit of Lego, and so we're going to be reviewing some memes there. And then later on, we're also going to be talking with our dear friend from Order 416. There we go, nailed it. Dan Johnson. He's going to be joining us later on in the show, talking all things toys and collectibles. That there's a really big world. That's a big, part of Star Wars collecting. So can't
Yeah,
wait to ask
most
him
definitely.
some questions about that. What else is going
Yes.
on, Jordan?
Well, for starters, as always, like every week, we have Nikk. Uh, he was nice enough to fill in for me last week. Nikk, I love you
Yes.
so much.
He's back there somewhere. He's
Yeah,
away at the
Love right back at
there
you.
there he is. There he is.
yes.
So good.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for checking us out. If you want to know if you want more pop culture content, go to Culture Slate. That is our Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of it. Culture
Hmm.
Slate. Just do it. I don't know why
We're
you wouldn't want
there.
to do
We're
that.
there. That's where we hang
Yeah.
out.
And
That's
then you
where
can
we are.
find me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok at TBluePoster66. Hannah, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Raeside. Lots of memes go on there. So that's always a good time. And be sure to check out our Patreon as well. You can find behind the scenes stuff and things you can't find anywhere else on the internet, only on our Patreon. So that's patreon.com/culture slate for more of that good stuff. Now, Jordan, let's jump straight into this news because like what I mentioned before, we have some hot goss coming at us today, hot off the press, I like to say. Pedro Pascal in an interview and conversation with Ewan McGregor, funny enough, two
Love
fantastic
both of them.
stars, right?
Love them.
They start talking about well, Ewan McGregor just throws a question at Pedro about filming and especially on Mando season 3, and we quote Pedro says, "We haven't shot a third season," and then quickly after that the conversation they realize that, we can we disclose this information? I don't know. Like
Yep.
they get very of course there's a lot of prestige around the Star Wars series and movies and things like that, so they were very cautious of what they said. But Pedro's not saying they haven't started the season 3. What is your take on that, Jordan? Do you think they should have started by now? What's
Yes,
this?
I hate it here. I want season three so bad. It's funny because when The Mandalorian first came out in season one, I was like, this is boring. I don't want it. I
Really? You
wasn't
thought it
as
was
hyped.
boring?
Yeah, the first
Oh,
season, the first couple
ooh.
episodes, I was like, this is boring. I'm
That's a
not
hot
gonna
take.
lie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but towards the end, I was like, okay, okay. And then season two with everyone, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I love it. And so
Yeah.
now this is what I get. This is what I get. Season three is not filming because of me. Because they're like, well, if he thought it was so boring, my
It's
fault,
come
guys. I'm
down to
sorry.
you not enjoying it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because we were just in discussion before, about how season 2 started filming in the January of the pre, like it came out in December. December? That's when December, and it was filmed
Yeah.
in January.
Mhm.
So we are halfway through the next year. And he's saying we still we haven't shot a third season. So are we gonna go right down to the detail? He didn't say we haven't started to shoot, and he didn't say we haven't finished shooting. It's just we haven't shot. Is that a blanket? Do you think they haven't filmed anything for it?
I think they're gonna start. They just haven't yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So you think it's in like this near future? Near future.
Yeah. I think he just was like, we haven't filmed anything yet. I mean, it's only June, so yeah.
That's true. That's true. 6 months, but we do have Book of Boba Fett coming out in this December.
Wow,
so
I
wonder.
I might be in Disney when that comes out because I'm trying to go in like November, December.
So that would be magical. Yeah.
I'm just saying, Disney, I'll already be at one of your parks. If you just want to give me a screening, I won't
amazing.
say no.
That's a good plug. That was good.
Won't say no.
But yeah, so we obviously have the Book of Boba Fett coming out in December. So does that mean? I think this is what I'm inferring by this not being. We haven't shot a third season. I think they're not going to shoot maybe until the end of the year. Maybe shoot like a November, December, January, maybe. Maybe have a bit of a break in between there. And then we're going to be getting alternating Decembers of new shows of Book of Boba Fett, Mando, and then do we have a release date for the Kenobi series?
I
to my brain doesn't have that knowledge. If someone in the chat can know if there's a confirmed date for the Kenobi series, let us know.
It's tomorrow. It comes out tomorrow, guys.
Yeah. So I reckon we'll be getting Book of Boba Fett this year, 2021, and then Mando season 3, 22, and then I don't feel like Kenobi in 2023 is really far away. No, Kenobi's coming out in next year, isn't it? Oh, hang on.
I think it's next
year.
Someone
correct us.
I don't know. Yeah, Star Wars fans, do best and correct people. Come on.
Yeah, that's so true.
I don't know. Not soon enough is my answer.
Yeah, not soon enough. We would have hoped for it to be started filming, but not as of yet, according to Pedro. Yeah. We're gonna move on from our moving forward. And just a reminder again, if you do want to check out more of our stuff here, you can find us at patreon.com/culture slate. That's where we are in our spare time. Spare time? I don't know. Not really. Well, kind of, sometimes.
Yeah.
All right.
I
now
do it in my spare time.
There you go. Jordan's there. If you have spare time, there's Jordan. Mm-hmm. Now we have a part of our Star Wars culture team. We have a very special someone in the behind the scenes who I like to call our head of memes. And he can also kind of be our head of Legoing. And there he is. Here he comes.
I love that.
Legoing? I don't know.
Hello there.
Hey, Chad. How you doing?
No.
Loving the Tano jersey, by the way. That's fantastic. It's so good.
I love this jersey.
Give me
really nice.
So
right
good.
Now.
I would if I could. I would if I could.
Imagine if Zoom could do that. There we go. That's the next
level Zoom.
Yeah.
It's a couple more years and it'll happen.
Absolutely. Now, Chad, we have brought you on for a very specific reason.
Yes.
For this part of the show, we earlier this week, I think, earlier this week.
It was last week.
No, end of last week. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it was about like middle of last week.
Yes, we got a little sneak peek. It was a leak, really. It was a sneaky leaky. Wow, I'm going to call it that from now on. That was incredible.
Sneaky leaky. I know a TikToker, a Star Wars TikToker who's into sneaky leaky. So like, I already love it.
That's really funny. We have the 2021 Lego sets leaked to us from a Japanese catalog, I believe it was from.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and were these the sets we needed? That's what we're going to discuss and kind of bring up today. So on the catalog image, we got a full range of what's going to be released. So let's just go through all these ships that we've got here and interesting sets we've got. We'll go from
what do you want to start
to
with?
Be. Yeah, right. There's the one that seems to be the largest. I'm going to assume it's the largest one. Which I'm
going to say that's also the largest one there. The Moff Gideon cruiser.
The Moff Gideon cruiser. Light cruiser. That's good. That's good. So that was we first saw that specific one, Mando season 2.
Yep.
I mean, it looked fantastic in the season. It was a good looking ship.
It's also appeared in the Clone Wars and Rebels. times too.
But was
the
it
cruiser.
specifically his though?
No,
but it's like
no,
it's like the same thing. No, I get
the
what you mean.
cruiser
No, it's like,
class did, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But have we gotten a light cruiser Lego ship before? Can you correct me on that?
No, they make a lot of like Star Destroyers, and they made a lot of like they made one. I want to say they made a Republic Star Destroyer. They made a First Order Star Destroyer, and they make a lot of Imperial Star Destroyers.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of Imperial ones. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So.
Real quick.
Yep.
I'm looking at the chat. Dominic Jones, love him. He's great.
Dom.
Dom, yeah, love him. Hi, Dom. He
Sneaky
said,
leaky.
he loves. First of all, he loves the idea of Sneaky Leaky as being a regular segment on the show.
I think so. I think it's time.
And I mean, if Dom himself is like, do it, then like I think we should do it. But the other thing he said that I'm going to draw attention to was about the Kenobi series, and he said it's not a confirmed date yet for Kenobi, but May 4th is on a Wednesday, and Loki on Disney Plus comes out on Wednesdays. So could they be following their footsteps?
So what I think is going to happen is they're going to have all the Marvel shows come out on Wednesdays, and then they're going to have all the Star Wars shows comes out on Fridays, because that's what it's appearing to happen with Bad Batch and Loki. So
yeah,
that's my guess. I don't know anything, so I'm just a fan.
They like patterns, and they like those continuity. Okay, back to the Lego sets. So
all right.
We have the Moff Gideon cruiser.
Yep.
And that's the second biggest looking ship to me is this fantastic Slave One. Now you have a Slave One.
I do.
Slave
right
2? Slave One. There it is. Oh, there you go.
Oh, so I was watching like somebody else kind of go through all these sets, and apparently that one is going to be smaller than this one. This one's like the 20-year anniversary of of the Legos that they did. So I have that one. I think I have all those sets too.
Gotta love a Slave, and we saw it reappear in Mando season 3 again. So loving the theme here of Mando.
My opinion on this thing, I don't like how Fennec Shan is in the light cruiser. I think Fennec Shan should be in the Slave One with Boba Fett.
That's a really good point,
because
actually.
Like,
is she the cruiser with the other women though? Because the
light cruiser, it's like the light cruiser includes Grogu, Mando, Cara Dune, Fennec Shan, Moff Gideon, and I want to say in a Dark Trooper. It looks like.
I guess where Bo-Katan at.
Because Bo-Katan's in another Lego.
Yeah, she's in the.
But
actually, the Mando fighter.
Also on one of these leaks, the one where he's on the speeder bike with the Tusken Raider is already out, because I already have that speeder bike right here.
Yes, so do I. Yeah, that set has already come to our.
It's a leak. I think it came out earlier this year. I don't remember when I bought this Lego.
I mean, it was a good set. It was actually really fun to build.
And then
next up, we have our Mandalorian fighter, which is fantastic. We saw a lot of this in Clone Wars and Rebels. It looks really good here. I really want this one. This looks fantastic. What do you think of this one? First off, Chad.
I love it. I want it. It comes with Bo-Katan. It comes with Death Watch Loyalist, and I want to say it also comes with what's the bad guy's name? He was in Rebels too.
Gar Saxon?
Yes, Gar Saxon.
Yeah, you nailed it.
I forgot his name for a second.
So, what a guy. What a guy. Jordan, what do you think of this set? What do you think of this Mandalorian fighter?
Gimme.
That's all I got. It's good. It's a good looking ship. It's so nice. We'll keep rolling on. We also have the Imperial Troop Transport from Mando. Again, a big Mando theme here, which is good. Biggest show on Disney Plus. Good, good thing to shoot for. Good looking. It comes with Moff Gideon. It comes with I can't zoom far enough.
It comes with Grief Karga.
Grief Karga. Thank you so much, Grief
Karga.
Comes with
Grief Karga. I found a way better image online with Claire. I should share with you guys. But
and
it comes with the mortar guy and
a
couple of stormtroopers. So
yeah, it's a good looking set too.
It is.
Obviously that was a that was a good episode in Mando season 2. I thoroughly enjoyed that one, that whole chase scene. So I think that one will do pretty well as well, because that was quite a favorable episode of season 2.
Yeah.
Moving on, we also have now, Jordan, I feel like you're gonna froth on this one. The Clone Wars. I like to call this the Clone Wars throne room scene, like what we got in Last Jedi, but like Clone Wars version. Of Ahsoka and Maul dueling it out in that just magical scene.
I want it. Fantastic.
I really need
magical
this
scene.
too.
Right. And it's only small. It's only quite small, but it's quite a important
apparently
scene.
the window in the back behind the throne like breaks apart, so you can kind of like chuck Maul through the window like he did.
Oh, do that whole scene, really reenact it. I love that so much
it
when
also
they make
comes
it
with,
interactive.
Yeah, it also comes with that little box that he goes in at the end of those sets of episodes too.
Yes, absolutely. Where the Mandalorians used to hold their Jedis and Force users. Fantastic little addition there. And this was a great scene. And out of Clone Wars season 7, all the magic we got, I think that was quite a poignant scene of this duel. And everyone always kind of talked about it. And maybe I'm biased because I just think it's like the greatest thing of Star Wars like animation ever. But it's like this was like a really big scene and quite a beautiful scene.
It was. So
I didn't like.
Tano, I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, and I didn't. Yeah, that's so true. Actually, you have the shirt. I didn't like think of this to be Lego set, but then when I saw it, I was like, "That's brilliant." This was like an amazing scene. Like, of course, we wanted a Lego set from this. Lastly, we also have the Bad Batch, very on brand. Bad Batch fighter. I'm gonna call it for now. Correct me of the ship title if anyone can. So we have the Bad Batch ship, which we've seen a lot of in the series, obviously, that Bad Batch series, and then we've got 2 little speeders along with it, which is awesome, and they look really good too. What do you guys think of this ship? How's it looking? Do you think this is what we wanted?
It's pretty cool. Like, it comes with all the bad comes with all the Bad Batch characters. So I mean, most of them, I should say. It doesn't come with Omega. But this set did
Omega.
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 It did leak early, and that's
because that's where we started figuring out that crosshair.
It leaked like a month ago or something like that. It leaked just before the show came out, and that's how we found out that Crosshair was going to be a bad guy.
Yeah,
so. But I mean, it's still pretty.
It was a sneaky leaky. Cool, it was a bit of a sneaky leaky.
It's still a pretty cool set, though. I like it.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. Yeah.
I want all of them
from the range that we've gotten and that we've saying, which is going to be released this year. What do you think we should have gotten that we haven't yet? That we haven't gotten? Because we've covered all the main shows here a lot. Like there's a lot of Mando. And there's the Slave One. That's always going to be a favorite, and that reappeared in the show. Mando Fighter, I love it, but I didn't like. Is it necessary right now? That's my hot
for the
take.
future of the Mandalorian show.
That's true. That's true. We've done a lot of speculation. If we're going to go back to Mando. Exactly.
This is going to be a joke, but the X-Wing that comes with Dave Filoni's character.
Please.
I want his X-Wing.
Oh, yes, please. Oh, it's that would be actually hilarious if he little Dave and his little beard, and it has to come if he takes off his X-Wing helmet. He has to put a cowboy hat on. It has to come with a cowboy.
Comes with that little fedora that you get when you get Indiana Jones Legos.
Yes, exactly that. Amazing.
That would be so cool. I want it now.
I oddly did expect a bit more Bad Batch, to be honest. We've only gotten that one Bad Batch ship. I thought we could have gotten maybe another kind of setting kind of set, similar to like the Clone Wars throne room scene. Even Mando got that Tusken Raider little hut.
I'm willing to bet they're waiting.
They're waiting
for the rest of the season to come out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Lucasfilm is pretty sneaky about things, and personally, all these Mando Lego sets should have came out just when the show ended.
That's true. Maybe January.
Yeah, it should have came out in like January, February that time, so that we could be hyped with. So like, oh, it just ended. Now I want to buy all these Legos. But like, they can be pretty secretive about what's happening with the show. They probably just like, here's something that we can give you. That's why I think Omega is not with the Bad Batch shuttle, is because they didn't want them to know about Omega, so or know what her role is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a good point. They want to try and keep that under wraps as much as possible. I'm sure there was someone in someone in the Disney headquarters when everyone started picking up on the crosshair is in a different suit, going, "Damn it, we didn't think they would notice." Like, that was a very good sneaky leak that everyone got to find out beforehand. Well, I'm pretty happy with these sets overall. Like satisfaction level out of 10. Let's give it an out of 10. Actually,
I'll let Jordan go first.
Yeah. What is your satisfaction with these? 9 out of 10. That's that valid. Where does the point get lost? Where's the point off for?
Because I don't really collect Legos like I should, so it's like
like you should.
All
I like
amazing,
that.
but like I don't have any. So
really,
really the fault is with me taking the point.
They get pretty expensive after a while.
They do. So, Chad, what would you rate this satisfaction out of 10?
I'd say 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
The two things, the one thing that I brought up with the Fennec not being with Boba Fett, and the one Lego character of an actress that's no longer on the Mando is also mildly gripe.
Yes.
But otherwise than that,
is
I love it all. So
yes, yeah.
And I want it all, but I can't get them all.
Yeah, I know. It's like the plight of a Star Wars fan is you're constantly just like using your whole paycheck to buy Lego Star Wars and things like that. I'm with Jordan on this boat. I'm with a 9 out of 10. Very happy. They look really good. They look fantastic, and I'm extra happy about that Clone Wars throne room scene. I could do a whole show on just that scene.
That one is probably going to be the cheapest one. It'll probably be around $20.
Yeah, because again, it's just one of those like scene set ones. Yeah, so it's only super small.
So they usually do those ones around like, I don't know, Australian money, so like $20 US.
Yes,
so
that would that works out. That's like $30 for us. That's good. Yeah. Fantastic. So much. I wasn't expecting like Lego to pop up like last week, and it was just like, oh, Lego sets. Here we go. Boom. But it's an exciting time. Very exciting.
They also have some better looks on the Mando ship and the duel. So they released some official images, but none of the official like Mando and that Bad Batch ship.
Yeah, on the Bad Batch ship. Yeah. Well, we'll stay very tuned for that. And a reminder, if you're loving the show, make sure you check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Culture Slate, for all that good stuff and meme content, if you will. Let's make that a word. Meme content. All righty. Well, like we mentioned before, we have a very special guest with us today. We have Dan Johnson from Order 416, which we're going to welcome in now so he can come on in. And there he is. How you doing, Dan?
Hello. Hey, everyone. How's it going? Hello. It's great to be here with you guys.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Thanks for coming.
I already love your background and backdrop. You're setting the scene of how avid of a collector you are.
I figured I may as well set up everything in the little Star Wars studio for
absolutely,
for the podcast, Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, it's looking so good. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, before we get into talking all things collectors and all things collectibles, we're going to be checking out some memes, and we wanted you in here for our meme review for this week. So we've sent you some memes, and we're all going to open these memes at the same time.
I have received the transmission. I'm opening them now.
Together.
Awesome. So this first meme we have here, Jordan, do you want to read out this first meme for us?
It's the Boba Fett one, right?
Yeah, it's the Boba Fett.
It's not loading for me.
It's the Lego Boba and Boba Fett from The Mandalorian, and it's like finally it's wow. I do not know Galactic Basic apparently, so if that's what they call English in Star Wars. Anyways.
So finally an accurate on-screen
depiction
of Boba Fett from the hit video game Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. which is really true. It's really true. Like the shape of his head is just so bulbous. It's just really off-putting. But look at us now. We're here now, and look at his gun too. What like all the love in the world.
Camera,
the complete saga. That's so true.
Like
what? But you know, love the complete saga.
I remember seeing the armor for the first time with the clean paint, and I thought it looked off, right? But to see it compared to a toy, that's actually cool.
Yeah. That's it's a good comparison. I
think the look is growing on me though.
I was a bit off put at first, and then now I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I'm vibing now.
Yeah.
Now our second
next meme.
Oh, so this is a classic. Oh my gosh. Why does Lego Dooku
I haven't seen Lucas. This one. Yeah, it says, why does Lego Dooku look exactly like George Lucas? And as I keep looking at it, I'm like,
the more I look at it, the more I see it. That's hilarious. Look at that. Like even the hair, like the way it's like combed back so perfectly. Yeah. It's like very George. It's very George. Where's Papanoida from Senator? Yes. That's another George Lucas there. Classic. I love
Chad, have they ever made a George Lucas Lego mini?
I don't think so, but they should.
They're halfway there.
I don't know why they haven't.
Copy this.
I mean, they made a Lego Dooku that looks so.
Yeah. So
just use him.
Yeah.
just take his head off and put on like a pair of like a flannel like shirt and like maybe some blue pants, and then you got
George camera.
Yeah, maybe give him a camera.
Use the gun of the Boba Fett figure. That'll be the perfect George Lucas. Boom.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
Our next meme is, I think it's the best one that we have this week because it's just like this
black clothes on a planet with two suns.
Big mistake. On DVD, March 26th.
No wonder he hates the sand. Look at that. That looks miserable.
I wonder if his suit has aircon. Does his suit have aircon?
I would think so.
I'm sure that's in like a comic or something.
I mean, that's on that little box. You know, this little like control box. You just press.
That's the green. That's the green and the red. The green is cool. The red is hot.
Exactly.
The heat, because he can put it on heat for Hoth when he's on Hoth. He puts his heater on. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, but no, black clothes on a planet with two suns. That would be hell. Oh, good memes. Gotta love some Lego memes.
Those were great.
Classic. Yeah, love them so much. Let's jump in to our next segment. What we're going to be talking about and discussing for today. We have gone and found some kind of random, just strange collector facts that we're going to be talking about. But before we jump into these insane facts, Dan, tell us just a quick little overview of your collector history. We will get into this later, but what got you into collecting first of all?
Well, for sure. And obviously, thank you guys so much for having me here. Hannah, Jordan, Chad, it's a pleasure.
Good time.
Thanks for being here.
No problem.
So exciting. Woo!
I was excited to get the call to come join you guys, so thank you. But my name is Dan. I'm actually from Order 416. We're a small cosplay group out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. But we do costumes and local meetups and these types of things with conventions and what have you. But my true passion lies in collectibles. And I'd say probably, I think it was around 2008, 2007, around the start of the Clone Wars movie, if I'm not mistaken, when those first line of Clone Wars 3.75 action figures came out. That's when I really ramped up my collecting. So like when it started, I'd say I collected the Power of the Force Star Wars action figures when I was younger in the 90s with the re-releases of Star Wars movies. But when I really got into it was when Clone Wars 3.75 inch action figures started showing up on shelves.
Yeah, really nice. So good. And I'm sure we're going to delve into all about your collection a little later on. But so that's Dan. That's Dan's overview for today. But we'll get into that later. But we're going to hit you with some facts now. We're going to, because we knew you were coming. And we said, we got to ask this man about some collectibles and some Star Wars collector facts that we have found. The first one we've got is there's a man that has collected a record of 63,000 Darth Vader items.
Holy.
So that's like individual Darth Vader themed items, 63,000, and it's filled his whole house and of course like his whole existence.
I
Darth
didn't
Vader
even realize
items.
that many Darth Vader things existed.
Right?
I mean,
Exactly.
if there's one character that people do collect for, it's Vader, it's Boba Fett. So it wouldn't be surprised to see a whole house full of Vader. I mean, there's enough stuff, the shampoo bottles to life-size toys. So who knows what he has in there.
That's true.
Yeah,
I just hope he's not collecting shampoo bottles. It's just
Oh,
me.
Most certainly he is if he has 63,000.
True.
Right? And so the article goes, his name is Bill McBride, and he lives in Washington, D.C., and he actually works as a rocket scientist, which I found that was actually a really interesting piece of like that context to this guy. It's like, okay, he's not just a quintessential nerd, if you will. He's like, he's working as a rocket scientist. Well, maybe you're still a bit of a nerd if you're doing rocket science, I guess. But he's best known for his Darth Vader collection. And it says, and I quote, he collected everything from vintage Darth Vader masks to Darth Vader themed condoms. So this guy's really got everything.
Darth Vader
really got it
what?
all.
Yeah, that cut out there. I think I heard what you said.
Come again?
Is that a lawnmower behind you there, Jordan?
Yes, it is. I'm so sorry.
Like the slave one stuff?
I have been home all day. People have been mowing outside all day. And somehow the lawnmowers of my house decided that 6 o'clock sharp was when they wanted to start lawn mowing.
Yeah, what a specific time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounded like the slave one or something.
I apologize in advance to the audience.
That's so fine. I'll quote again. He collected everything from vintage Darth Vader masks to vintage, not vintage, just Darth Vader themed condoms. So this guy's really got it all.
I sure hope those condoms are vintage.
They're not. I don't think they are.
Yikes.
But
I'm just trying to think of a time when they offered Star Wars condoms, like they team up with one of these brands. Again, I don't
teamed up who's thinking Trojan. That? In what boardroom is that coming up?
Lucasfilm X Trojan.
You know what we need.
I know that there are certain collectors like Steve Stansweet, who owns the world's largest Star Wars collection. Yeah. He collects food items, so he doesn't necessarily collect the banana, but he collects the tags from the bananas and different things like this. But I feel like
I was gonna say I feel like that should be helping his case, but if he's just keeping the packaging of said condoms, then I'm even more concerned.
I know. So again, I thought that Steve collecting food item packaging was one thing, but I've personally never heard of the condoms of Darth Vader.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know if they're like. I wonder how well they sold. I don't know. And
no, he.
So Chris, our producer, we were in conversation about this the other day, and he made a really funny joke, and I mentioned him because I have to credit him with this one. He said, "Well, at least that he's not going to be his father." As in, I mean, you're really making sure of that. He's sticking to his most famous quote. I am your father. Well, no, you're not using your Darth Vader condoms. You're not. But that's fantastic. I love that fact so much. But 63,000. That's a lot. That's a lot. Like a really large amount.
And to be so focused on one character, I mean, it's actually a good idea when you are collecting Star Wars or any item in general to have a focus, like either a specific character or a genre of movie. Or even a moment in time, like from like a certain 80s or 90s, to stay focused. But to be focused on one item and to mass so much, that is quite impressive. Like I haven't seen that many of one item in one place before. I've seen large collections of where people just go in all different directions. But for all of one item, that's great. I mean,
you mentioned before that Darth Vader is probably one of the most popular Star Wars characters to collect. Is that true? So Darth Vader and Boba Fett you mentioned.
I would say he's the most iconic character from Star Wars, possibly. Like you could go anywhere in the world and show a picture of Darth Vader to someone, and they're more likely to identify with that than they are maybe with Luke or one of the droids. But in saying that, I think every time they produce a Star Wars line or they produce a Star Wars item, other than like maybe prequels or the sequel trilogy, it's always had Darth Vader's face on the marquee or on the packaging, or he's in the product breath somewhere. So I would say it would be easy to acquire a Darth Vader item from each line. It's just impressive that he's probably been doing it since the 70s. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, he's an avid collector. Clearly,
and let's face it, today you could still buy Darth Vader items. It's not like, even though those movies are very old and they're kind of they're not the key marketing for Star Wars, but you could find Darth Vader Black Series. You can find him on the 3 3/4. Again, you could find him probably in a children's soap bottle right now. So
yeah, probably, yeah.
Him, Boba Fett, and the droids have to be your top 3, I would say.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and it's quite interesting that he's not even it's not a human face, and but it's such a iconic look and shape and symbol almost that no matter language, culture, almost most of the world would know the look of Darth Vader.
I mean, you could even go as far as just to show the silhouette. People are going to recognize that. It's believe it or not, it's the non-faced characters that people have gravitated towards for years. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s when they were developing the tall Star Wars dolls, I mean, the masked characters are the popular ones that sold. Kids wanted those ones. The real likeness face, they didn't look like the characters that much, so people will often push them to the side. Now that it's all collectible, and our Leias look great and our Lukes look great, but back then there are people who will only collect masked characters, and it's for that reason that they just didn't look that great up until now.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's a really good point though, because I have noticed that in the past of when you see a character's face and it doesn't quite look like them, and you're like, ooh, that's a kind of bit off-putting.
Darth Vader looks great. I mean, his mask, they hit that sculpt every time. So
that is so true. Actually, speaking of Darth Vader, while we're here, what does everyone have like a favorite Darth Vader themed something that they own or have? And like, well, let's do this round table style. Does everyone have a Darth Vader themed something that's like kind of random? Jordan?
I mean, it's not random. I guess it's not random. But I had a helmet that I like when I was 10. I wore it for Halloween and stuff like that. And then randomly after that, it scared the ever-living mess out of my cousin. He was like 5 at the time.
That's so good.
5, 4, maybe 3. Or 2 or 1. Let me stop. And I loved it.
So was it like a helmet or a mask?
Yeah, it was like a helmet. It like was his head with the buttons attached, and then you put the hood on it.
Yeah, and it like hung down.
It had the hanging thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Jordan, that's a wonderful piece.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. That's so good. Ooh, that from a collector, from an official collector. That's a really big compliment.
Listen, we've moved 18 times since then, so I'm not sure.
Well, rest assured, it is a piece that you could find down the road if you ever wanted to do so. I've seen them out and about for many years. Yeah, and it's one of the ones that people like. The little dangler. Yeah. We call it the dangler. The dangler.
Yeah. The dangler. I love that. And with these aircon buttons, which we're now gonna let's canonize that.
Know what they do, right? They keep him cool on Tatooine.
Cool. Yeah, amazing. Chad, what about you? Do you have like a Darth Vader themed something that you really love?
I did. I gave it to my nephew. I gave it to my nephew.
Oh, that's actually really nice. What was it?
It was a little like piggy bank, and you would press it, and then he would say the thing from Empire, like what he says to Luke.
What's he quote? Yeah.
I was like, what did he say in Empire?
Like you said a bit. What?
I also forgot for a second we were talking about Darth Vader, so I was like,
I can't remember what he says. A
lot of characters said a lot of things,
but it was a piggy bank. So
it was a little.
Was the piggy bank Darth Vader, or was it a?
Yeah, it was.
Said Darth Vader things.
It was like a piggy bank Star Wars. It was like a statue, and then like just below him you would put in your coins.
Right.
You couldn't
gotcha.
Get your coins out though, so like you can put in your coins, and then he would go off, and he would like he would move, and then he would like raise his arm. I think at the end he would say like, "You aren't also Jedi yet," and he would turn on his lightsaber and raise his arm, and then it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's really that's kind of shut down. That's really kills the confidence. You're not a Jedi yet.
It's crazy as you guys are describing these items. I'm having these like flashbacks of seeing them in collectible stores and stuff over the years.
I used to have a R2D2 and C3PO one, but that one like fell apart.
Oh, get wrecked.
when I was younger. So
A piggy bank. I love a piggy bank. What about you now, Dan? What do you have a really prized Darth Vader piece you have?
If I thought about it for a while, I could probably come up with something fairly unique that I have Darth Vader. But my go-to is going to be my signed Darth Vader David Prowse action figure. So I think 2017, I think the in suit actor for Darth Vader, David Prowse, was coming to Hamilton in Canada, and I decided to get my action figure signed. So that would probably be my go-to. It's not as sentimental because it's fairly recent that I've acquired it, but I think moving on over the years, that'll be the one.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's fantastic. Now for mine, can I actually go get mine? I'm it's like over on the shelf. Yeah. So because I really want to show it.
Go,
it was
Hannah,
mentioned
go.
on the show. All right.
Do it. You should do it.
That's an order.
It was mentioned on the show. What has been mentioned so far?
I'm gonna think it's a Lego. If I'm guessing, it's got to be a Lego.
I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. I know what it is.
Okay. Oh, geez.
I know what it is.
Back.
I know exactly.
Jordan is ready to see.
You know what it is?
Well, because she said it was mentioned on the show, and I was like, I don't think it was mentioned on this show.
You sure?
Go ahead.
I'm interested. I would be awkward if you're wrong, but. So this was, I do have to do a callback. This was mentioned on the show in what we did with Chatter Squadron when they were on the show. We talked about the weirdest Star Wars toys in the world. Now, I have a very dear friend in America that is a fellow Star Wars nerd with me, and he sent me this from America, other side of the world. He found it online for me, and he sent it to me. But it is the Darth Vader themed sprinkler that we had featured on the show for the weirdest Star Wars toy. So as you can see him standing there, Darth Vader, and he's on a little stand here, which happens to be the Death Star. And that's where the water comes out. There's like little holes along there that the water comes out on, and you can see the hose connection, the yellow thing at the back there. That's where you plug in the hose. And it's a sprinkler, and it's sprinkle your lawn in style with Darth Vader. I'm doing really good. I'm doing a really good ad for this product. But it is vintage. It came out. Oh, jeez, I don't know.
Yeah, that looks like 97, 96 packaging, somewhere maybe around that.
Yeah, it's
I can try and find it. I've never seen any water toy Star Wars items like that in package. That's interesting.
I'm so happy to impress you then. Yeah, so it looks good.
But it's funny.
What does it say under? It says the Force is something.
The what?
On the top.
The top up. Vader. It just says Vader Force Sprinkler.
Oh, I thought it was some weird wet joke or something.
Weird wet joke.
I don't know.
Spins around with water spraying action. Fantastic. So that's my input for the crazy Star Wars Darth Vader themed toy. I feel like he needs to join. But yeah,
you should definitely use that sometime.
Right? I want to use it.
I want to see this thing in work.
Yeah.
In action.
I love seeing these items that have escaped time, right? No one is posting a Darth Vader sprinkler on eBay for sale currently.
Exactly.
But it's these things that people cherish, they've had for years. That looks so cool.
Yeah, he can join us on the show. He can stay here, I reckon. He looks pretty good. He can. Okay, cool. Anyway,
thanks for joining us, Darth.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Darth, for joining. Yes. Oh, what a turn this show's taken.
What do we have up next? We
have a guy by the name of Gus Lopez.
See, and I keep reading that as George Lopez. I don't know why.
Good old Gus.
And what does he collect, Jordan? What does he collect for us?
He collects Star Wars cereal. I watched a little bit of the video that we have as a link. Don't know if we're gonna show that or part of it.
I think we'll just talk about it. We'll just talk about it. But this guy, Gus Lopez, he has collected Star Wars themed cereal boxes and cereal products that have come out over the years, and he has a fantastic whole wall of Star Wars themed cereals, which I didn't know there was such a big market of.
Oh yeah,
and has come out. What's your knowledge of Star Wars cereals, Dan? What's your experience?
I've seen them in shelves ever since special edition, episode 1, 2, 3. There's some notable cereal boxes that included pack-ins, like the episode 2. I think it's Kellogg's or Rice Krispies, one or the other. It came with a clone helmet, full size.
Yeah,
You still see
wow.
those at shows. It's like literally a clone helmet packaged next to a box of Rice Krispies, and it's about
Yeah,
this
that's
big.
so good.
I
That's
I
so
guarantee
need
good.
that.
Gus has one of those. I
Yeah,
guarantee
yeah.
it.
Need it.
That's amazing.
But of course, every time there's a movie or a property release or some type of big event, even I think like episode 1 3D, they would make cereal for. So like, I think it may be a thing from the past moving forward. I don't remember seeing Force Awakens cereal or Last Jedi. I'm not sure.
That is true.
I don't think
do
I
not.
have
Yeah.
either.
But if you go to conventions when everything gets back to the way it was or somewhat close, look around at the top of shelves of these booths. You're gonna see random cereal pack-ins. I'm sure there's a
Oh
bunch
yeah,
more
I've
I'm
seen
missing.
them.
So from the chat, Dominic Jones
Did you
says
just see that? I just saw that.
Dominic Jones says he accidentally once spilled a drink on Gus Lopez.
Oh wow!
Accidentally.
Okay,
So,
Dom,
so Star Wars cereal
accidentally-
guy, Star Wars cereal guy,
Yes.
you
Now,
spilled a
Gus-
drink on him?
Did
No,
you
no,
spill
Dominic.
milk?
No, yeah, as in,
Because
yeah,
the
Dominic.
the
did it?
legend that is
Get it?
Dominic
Because
Jones.
Wow.
The
cereal.
legend that is.
I thought
know.
Dom's legend couldn't grow anymore, but here we
I
are.
know.
Gus Lopez is not only just the cereal guy though, guys.
Yeah,
he is number 2 in all of Star Wars collecting. Before Steve gave him a run for his money, Gus was number 1. I believe he's out in Seattle somewhere. He buys movie props. He owns like the only remaining Death Star that was screen used. So I mean,
Wow.
yeah, Gus has some
Yes.
stuff for sure.
Wow, you're dishing out the even more. I love this. This is so cool.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
admired these people from afar for years.
Yeah.
Going back to even before, 2010, Gus was, the number 1 guy, the one that everyone asks questions for. Very accessible online. Often these collectors want to talk to fans, so they're on Twitter and these types of platforms.
Well, we
Yeah.
got an update from Dom.
Uh-oh.
He says I had been up for 24 hours and we were having dinner and I lost my grip on my drink and it landed on Gus's lap.
Tom,
Wow.
all I hear are
It's
excuses.
a magical story. What a wonderful way to like start a conversation.
I know.
It
Oh,
is.
sorry, I
then-
spilled this on you. Tell me about your collector's, items.
And then our producer, Claire, she says she has a Taco Bell exclusive trilogy thingy where Padme ship.
Oh,
Very descriptive.
the Naboo cruiser? Is that what
Nubian
she's-
cruiser.
Nubian.
I'm sorry.
Nubian.
Nubian.
But there's some crazy food items you can get out there. But I have to have a complaint that Australia, I have never in my life seen Star Wars on a cereal box. Never seen it. And I was
Wow.
looking at all the photos of the different types of cereals you guys had that were like Star Wars themed and like, R2 and C3 on the box. Like, where do they come here? I never saw them. Where are they?
It's funny though. I haven't seen anything since I think the Phantom Menace 3D. Like we had
Okay, so yeah.
we had stuff like on Dole products, ice cream. I'm trying to remember. It was like 2011, but I believe I don't remember sequel cereal.
That is a
I
good
remember-
point.
Cereal. I can say, as someone who used to work in a candy store, I still get flashbacks. They had some sequel era and Mandalorian era Pez dispensers, but like that was about it.
Yeah.
I know there are a lot on like soda. That.
Yeah.
Oh, I
There
remember.
we
I
go.
had some. I just had some of that. I
Some
totally forgot about that.
Mandalorian. There is a
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian cereal
Yeah.
that came out recently. That was, I believe, it was like little Yoda heads. Was that what they looked like?
Yeah, they were
I
like
don't-
the
yeah.
Grogu heads. Yeah.
Grogu heads. Yeah. That was the only
I remember.
cereal of late. That's a good point.
But Hannah,
Yeah.
you said in Australia you don't see these products. I'm in Canada, and we often get left out of these promotional events as well. So
Yeah, is that a thing?
I think it's the
What's
United
that
States.
about?
I know.
Oh.
I think it's US
Oh.
UK thing for most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
I know. It
It's
takes
like someone will
forever.
show a commercial of like a candy bar with like the Mandalorian on it, like, oh, head on down to 7-Eleven, pick it up. We never get those types of things.
Oh,
Y'all have
gosh,
7-Eleven
yeah.
in Canada?
We do have a 7-Eleven, but they don't get all the cool stuff.
Even we
Okay.
have a 7-Eleven. No, but again, it's more just meat pies, and that's about it.
Not
Um,
meat pies.
meat pie. That's about it.
Love that.
So that was for our crazy facts. I think cereal was just such a niche thing, but clearly what we've discovered, he does collect more than Gus Lopez collects more than just cereal boxes, but I found that quite fascinating. Cereal, out of all things, because you have the classic all the lightsabers and figures, but then cereal boxes. But I mean, it's a good. I think it's something unique. I like that. I like it a lot.
There's a video out there. I'm sure you could find it if you really wanted to, of Gus Lopez showing. There was a convention in Seattle. And he brought a few members back to his house and showed them their collection. And he opens the pantry, and it's just like all 4 walls are cereal, or all 2 walls are cereal. And you're
Yeah.
like, wow, there really is collecting for Star Wars for everything. And this is coming from a guy who owns like Yoda puppets and screen used items. He still collects everything, so it's crazy.
Yeah. There's the price doesn't really matter when it comes to collecting. I think that's what we're learning quickly today. It's all about the care and what you love so much.
Again, and have a focus, right? I mean, if you want to collect cereal and that's affordable for you, go for it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Now, diving more into the collector's world, and especially what you're experienced with, Dan, you were saying Order 416. We'll talk a little bit about that first. So that's a cosplaying kind of community that you and others have created. Talk us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it goes back to probably around the early 2010, 2012, when I personally started attending conventions myself and got interested in cosplay. And cosplay, obviously, just wearing your costume and creating your own craft and displaying it to the world. So I'm through doing cosplay, the very first year I went to one of these larger events, I found other people who enjoyed the same thing. At that point in time, my skill level was not up to par with some of the other Star Wars costumes that are out there. So I felt the need to have a group or a place where people could go who are either starting or have a limited budget or what have you, to start creating their own costumes. And it's been about 7 years that we've been doing Order 416. And we've attended all the major conventions here in Canada, or in Toronto, sorry. And we've gone to Celebration in 2019. And we really have been able to grow this group into a place for fans to connect, whether it be for costuming or having conversations about Star Wars. So I am one of the co-founders. Reno, my friend, is also a fellow co-founder, and we have many supporters, many members, and that come in and help us with our events and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Incredible. And I do have to mention that I have seen some fantastic photos of you being Kanan.
Oh, thank you.
I have to mention that I saw some of those and I was like, this actually really works.
I have to point it out. Yes, I do Kanan. Reno currently is doing Darth Maul and some clones. I don't know if he's talked about it yet, but he has a wolf,
under wraps.
Under wraps. We're sneaky leaky on what Reno's making. But he does have a full wolf with a couple different helmets, and it's been tough with the pandemic, obviously, for any cosplayer. We've had to diversify our group to look for other avenues to talk about Star Wars, because you can't just show up at a convention and put on your suit currently. So it's been great. But like our members, we often get the people to portray someone that they think they look like, or that they want to look like, or somewhere in that general vicinity. So when Rebels first debuted and I seen Kanan on the screen pull his lightsaber out and make his claim, I thought, okay, perfect. This is a character that I need to portray. So that's often how it happens with cosplay. You're watching a new property and you go, that's me. I have to do that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the nice comments. And I've been
awesome.
slacking on characters, but Kanan is my definite go-to.
Yeah, and you definitely pull it off. I can see the very good connection with it. It's like you really do look like him when you're in the full suit, or suit if you will. Talking a little bit more about your collector period, Jordan, what else have we got for Dan that we want to divulge into and find out?
Well, I just want to know what is the most what is the most prized thing in your collection? The one thing, if you had to pick one.
Wow. So prize collection. I've been collecting the Star Wars Vintage Collection action figures, which is a refresh of the originals. They've been coming out since about 2010, 2011, if I'm not mistaken. They're still being sold today. Those figures are all numbered from number 1 to, I think we're at close to 200 now. I would have to say the set of those, all those figures, accumulating them over the years at conventions, would probably be my number one prize possession, them all together as one set. But in doing so, I've been actively getting these figures signed at conventions and trying to acquire autographs on, my favorite figures. At Celebration 2019, I had the opportunity to do a trade for a signed Harrison Ford vintage collection action figure. And it was authenticated by Beckett, witnessed. Everything was on the up and up with this particular item, and I made the trade and made it happen. So I can proudly say now that is my number one piece in the collection.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
I mean, for you.
Thank you guys. For a little bit of background, to obtain a Harrison Ford autograph maybe 5 years ago was completely out of the question. It was next to impossible to find him at the Late Show or doing one of his movies. He would sign for you if you got in front of him, but it was very difficult to track him down, essentially. And you could pay someone to hunt for you and find him and get your autograph or what have you. But for the majority of collectors, out of the question to own a Harrison Ford item. Within the last few years, he started to do some private signings for different companies, and he's donated a large portion of his earnings to charity. And apparently he's enjoyed doing that. So this particular item was acquired at the second Beckett signing from Harrison Ford, and I can't be more than happy to have it in my collection.
Yeah,
That's
for
awesome.
sure. Yeah, because Harrison is quite well known for his demeanor, and he's kind of very up straight about his involvement with fan involvement. So that's definitely like a prize. Like, that's invaluable. Really, like that's amazing. So good.
Most of my other autographs have been collected in person at an event, line up like everyone else, and have the item signed.
Yep.
And then later have it authenticated by a third-party service like Beckett. And that's just to ensure
Tobias Beckett. I had to make that solo connection. Had to.
Gotta love that solo
connection. I had
to
do it.
But and all of my figures I've gotten signed in person. I think I have up to 15 or 20 of them. But to find Harrison Ford or go to a convention, he was never going to be behind a table with a pen ready for you to pay for him. So I figured this was my only opportunity to make this trade and get that particular item.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when you say trade, what did you have to trade for?
It's actually very interesting. I'm not really at full disclosure to be able to talk about exactly what I found with the trade, but I can tell you the item I traded for it.
Yes.
So the item I received is a 3 3/4 inch Harrison Ford signed Star Wars action figure. I actually traded I haven't actually said this to too many people, but I traded a signed John Boyega jacket. So I had John Boyega sign one of the brown Finn jackets. And the reason why the trade went down is he had signed it in a very unique way. He wrote a quote. It was kind of a bit of a mess, to be honest with you. The autograph I thought was it wasn't just his name. It was a bunch of different stuff. But the person who I had shown it to was over the moon. They couldn't believe the particular piece I had, and they were like, let's make this trade. So
the way I would have died.
And I did get to meet John Boyega. He was excellent.
And just listen. But I need the audience and everyone in this Zoom call to know one thing about me. Y'all can have Mark and Harrison and Ewan and Pedro.
Oh no.
Y'all can have them. I would die for John Boyega. That's all I'm gonna say.
So he's definitely a wonderful person, and you know what? I think coming down the road, you're going to see him at future events.
I hope so.
Doing autographs and meeting with the fans. Before the pandemic, he was doing a few shows here and there and different things. So you have a great opportunity moving forward, Jordan, to meet him or have something signed.
I hope so, because there's so many things I need to tell him about what he means to me as far as Star Wars goes. But that's another conversation for another time.
Dom wants us to talk about the Blockbuster trade.
Okay, well, Dom can.
So talk about a Blockbuster trade of like from John Boyega to a Harrison Ford.
I read that as a question.
This is
what's a Blockbuster trade?
This is a movie? Star Wars culture exclusive. I mean, I really haven't told this story to too many people.
That is so cool, though.
Other than people who were there in the moment when it was happening. So
We just got an official sneaky leaky.
Sneaky
leaky.
Can we like make like an over the top graphic that just flashes on the screen every time we say that?
Can I just say, on my end, you all perfectly harmonized saying sneaky leaky just then. It was perfect. Sneaky leaky.
Love
But that was a great
perfect.
question. Thank you. I knew that question was coming, and it's an easy answer now.
Yeah, that's incredible. So good. Now let's have kind of like our final thoughts in conversation on collecting and collectors, items and that kind of whole process with Star Wars, of what makes it so like addictive and what makes it so interesting. We know how reverent the Star Wars movies are. 40 years on, they're still amazing. And we still get those feelings as fans, but what makes it actually so addicting? I want us to kind of go around and each of us talk about kind of what the collecting and what we think that means for us Star Wars collecting. So Chad, I want to throw it to you because you are our head of memes, head of Lego content as well. You got a fantastic shelf. I know, I just thrown them at you. But you're renowned for your Lego collections. So like why is that so important to you? What makes it so addictive for you?
Well, I mean, I've always loved Legos. Like my grandpa has a major like Lego collection. My dad has all my Legos that I've bought as a kid. So I've always loved Legos, not just Star Wars Legos, like Lord of the Rings Legos. Pretty much anything. Yeah. Like I have most of the Lord of the Rings Legos, but like I love just Legos in general, and they're just so much fun to build, so much fun to play with. Like I remember as a kid, just like setting up Clone Wars battles with like all my clone troopers and different Jedi, and just like with the battle droids and just shooting them and like crashing ships and doing all that stuff. I just always loved Legos, and just I just want all the Legos, but I can't afford them.
Yeah, right. And I think you mentioned something there that I think is really important too. Of often when it starts with that kind of connection, and it's connecting us with other people, and especially when it's family. Like what you said, like with your grandpa and then your dad, like that. That's quite a good connection there. Yeah.
My favorite Lego, my shelf literally fell off like middle of the show.
Oh really?
My bottom shelf did. But it partially destroyed like one of my Legos, but it's not too destroyed, but it's my V19. The guns are off. But like my grandpa gave it to me for Christmas when I was like 10 or something like that. I don't remember.
See, and those pieces just like stay with you.
It's easily one of my favorite Legos.
I've always had it. I'm gonna ask Chad a follow-up question.
Yes.
Because I'm getting stressed just thinking about it. You and I are both moving next week.
Yeah.
How are you deal? How?
So
how do you move with Legos?
Pretty easy. You take them generally apart, and then you like once you move, I'll spend like a week pretty much rebuilding all these Legos. Every once in a while, not often, but every once in a while, like when I moved to this house that I live, I had to take this thing apart, and I had to rebuild it because I couldn't get it back together.
Oh, dang.
Oh my goodness.
It was a pain in the butt, let's just say.
Yeah, absolutely. But
normally they're pretty easy. Like the X-Wing, I'll pop off the wings here, and I have a Y-Wing back here.
Is that Poe Dameron's X-Wing, or is that just an X-Wing?
It is Poe Dameron's X-Wing.
We love that.
Thanks, Poe.
Thanks, Poe.
No, that's actually,
we love him. I have Poe's helmet somewhere. I bought a Black Series helmet. I don't know why I didn't mention that this whole show.
Well, you're up next, Jordan, because I want to know what. Yeah.
I still want that Wedge Antilles helmet though.
Yes,
right.
Me too.
But I can't.
Right.
No, but as I was saying, I went through a weird period of time after I watched all the Star Wars movies and became a fan, where I was like, I kind of have to be low key about this because people are gonna think I'm weird. And I was playing sports at the time, and high school and middle school athletes in Texas are. Anyway,
something else.
So there was a point where I really wasn't collecting things and consuming products wasn't on the top of my list until very recently, where I was like, I'm gonna buy all the things. So I have 3 lightsabers laying around and a Black Series helmet, posters everywhere. I've so my favorite thing right now is the Poe helmet because he's Poe. Anything that has to do with Finn, Poe, Oscar, and John, I want it all. So
Yeah.
I've
So do you
also
think?
been supporting creators who make stickers and getting a lot of Star Wars stickers from like Redbubble and like other sources. So that's like a thing I collect. Maybe one day I'll like show them on Instagram or something. Or
Yeah,
maybe
Star
Patreon. Maybe I'll
stickers,
put it on
yeah.
Patreon because y'all need to go subscribe to the Patreon. Yeah, I'm
The-
That
talking
was a
about
really
it
smooth
right
plug.
now.
That was good.
The only Lego character from the sequels that I really want but I don't have is Finn, and I need a Finn Lego.
Mm.
I have a few
Yes.
I have a couple of Rays, and I have a couple of Poes, but I don't have a Finn,
Yeah.
and I need a Finn. So I just gotta buy a
We
set
all
that
need
comes with
Lego Finn.
Finn.
I was gonna say they're probably making them for the foreseeable future, so you should. Be
I
able
mean,
to.
I just gotta find one of the sets. That's on me though.
Oh, yeah.
That's not on anybody else. That's on me.
It's not Finn Lego's fault. It's
It's
Chad's
my
fault.
fault.
It's all Chad. It's all
It's
Chad.
my fault.
Oh, that's
All
so
chat.
good. And what about you, Dan? What do you think? You know, when you first started get into collecting and collecting these items, whatever they may be, you know, what did it mean for you, and why did you love doing it so much?
I mean, for me, it always goes back to I can vividly remember watching the reruns of the original Batman '66 television show when I was very young, and owning the Batman and the Robin and having those figures in front of me while I was watching the show. So I think it did something to me, and this happens, I think, to a lot of collectors, is you get excited for the property that you're currently viewing, and you want to potentially, if you've had that experience when you were younger, you potentially want to own those items again to enjoy while you're consuming that content or shortly after. Similar like what you guys were talking with the Mandalorian stuff and timing these items out is essential, I think, to collecting. So
Yeah.
for me, harping back to that Batman memory, when Clone Wars became popular and started coming out and was accessible to watch on TV or at the movie theater, I had to have the toys again, and it really brought back that moment of, for me, that was what collecting was about, was consuming this content while enjoying the collectibles hand in hand. And these are things that we've kind of been trained as collectors to get used to, whether it be the special edition re-releases in the 90s or the prequel releases in the early 2000s, or even the newer stuff. Is you're conditioned almost to seek out these new items when the show comes. And some people may see that as like a cash grab or what have you, but this is their business model. And I think for myself, that's really what it harpens back to, is if a new property comes out, like when Force Awakens came out, and they did the Force Friday events, and you had to get all 8 characters. You didn't even know who they were.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all. That's what Star Wars collecting was always for me. Without having these movies currently, I mean, we're looking at things like Mandalorian and Bad Batch. Their items are coming out in full force, so it's great to see this continue over. And I think it'll just, for me personally, that's how I collect, and I think that's what I'll be continuing to see, for years to come.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, having that connection of, you know, what just not only watching what you love, but being able to have it tangible and have it there,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and it really does invoke that, like, that childlike kind of love and inside of us, and we just, you know, love being around that kind of those products, as you said.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah, we
kind of
all
have a
have
similar
something that
thing.
we
Yeah.
love, right? We all have that thing that we
Yeah.
love, and if you can own pieces of the property, in without going overboard, hopefully, because you always want to advise caution when collecting, but you don't want to end up, with too much stuff where you can't afford your food or something. But
Yes.
I'm always an advocate for that. Make sure you're collecting
Yeah.
what you can afford. But
Yeah.
everyone has that thing that they remember, and if you can own the items for it, and you've got that collector bug, there's no escaping it, I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. Because I have this funny kind of way I like collecting my Star Wars products. Of I do have a lot of Legos, and I have like a lot of Star Wars toys, and I had that growing up. But now, like as an adult, I like trying to collect Star Wars things that I can just integrate into my like daily life. I'll buy like a new set of Star Wars earrings, or like the classics. I have so many Star Wars socks. I reckon I have upwards of 30 pairs of Star Wars socks that I will wear in like my day-to-day, day work clothes. I'll wear a pair of Star Wars socks just so it's with me throughout the day. It's not over the board. It's not like I'm having to wear Darth Vader helmet to work, but it's like I can still have a bit of Star Wars with me. Like I like
Who
that
says
kind
you
of
can't?
like a challenge, right? Actually, that's fair. I should.
That's really interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, myself, I'm so caught up in buying the latest action figure or collecting the newest valuable Star Wars item, but you Loungefly has these backpacks, and
I have one. I have
mean,
a Loungefly Star Wars
right?
backpack.
You have
and
to.
it's my work.
Yeah.
It's my work bag. That's another
This
subtle
shirt
thing. I'm like,
is her
Star Wars
universe.
Yeah,
I believe,
this
yeah.
shirt is from her
Yes.
universe. So.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I
It's
have a
around
few
us.
things from her
I got-
universe as well.
They're good.
It
That's
used to be a struggle to incorporate Star Wars into your everyday life in like the 90s or early 2000s. Either it wasn't accepted in your social circle or what have you, or you're unable to acquire these items. There was no Loungefly. There was no Her Universe. It's great to have this breadth
Heroes
of
and
product
Villains
now.
is another good one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The breadth of it. Yeah. Yeah. They're all
Yeah.
around us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Well, with that, I think we are starting to wrap up the show.
It's my least favorite
yeah.
part of the show.
I
the
know.
end.
I don't want to. But Jordan, thank you so much, Jordan.
Oh, that.
Good times.
Thank you, Hannah. And thank you, Dan. And thank you, Chad.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much. Reaching out to everyone at Star Wars Culture has been an absolute pleasure, and I've had so much fun today chatting collectibles and memes and everything with you guys.
Amazing. And if you want to find more of Dan's stuff, where can people find you, Dan?
All right, so we are on the 3 major platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find us at Order416, just the way it's spelled. And yeah, we post, different Star Wars content on our Instagram is where we mostly are active. And we love sharing other people's content. So if you have a great costume or you have some collectibles that you want us to share with all of our friends and family, we'd love to see it. Just feel free to send it to us anytime.
Amazing. Wonderful. So
And
that's
when
where you can
conventions
find-
get back, when conventions
yeah.
get back, we attended Star Wars Celebration 2019. We are planning to attend the next Star Wars Celebration. We were located.
Hopefully, you'll see
table
Hannah and
here.
I there with you.
Yeah,
I have a feeling
true.
like we're all
Well,
going to be
I think so.
excited
I
at Star
think
Wars
so.
Celebration, but
I want to be there.
look
I'm just gonna show up.
upcoming events.
I'm just gonna show up. This is for the people from the underworld. I'll be at the IHOP across the street, hanging out
Yes.
with Ben. So
That's really me.
Chad, can you go ahead and plug your socials too? Because I don't
Yeah.
think we asked you yet.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
you can
Where
you
people
can
find you?
find me on Twitter at Chad BTI. I tweet about Star Wars. I tweet about random things. So
That's a good synopsis. I like it. I tweet about
Just-
Star Wars, tweet about random things.
just if you wanna see some random things, just follow me. I do what I want there. It's my Twitter.
Awesome.
I don't really post Instagram, but it's the same username at Chad BTI as well.
Wonderful. That's where
Thank
you can find
all
his stuff.
so much. Yeah, well, I was just going to say thank y'all so much for joining us on another episode of Star Wars Culture. Once again, thank you, Dan, for joining us.
Not a problem.
Yeah, but be sure you guys hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you want to watch us on YouTube. Please. And follow Culture Slate over on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I posted a TikTok today and nobody liked it, so I'm kind of offended. I'm the only person who liked it from my other account. Don't tell TikTok, but it's fine. We are going to be here every Wednesday at 4 p.m. PST and 7 p.m. EST. Hannah, where can they find us? When can they find us? In good old Australia.
You can find us here every Thursday at 9 a.m. It's a morning show for us. It's like an evening, afternoon show.
Ooh,
for
a
you.
Star Wars
It's
morning
like a
show?
morning. It's like
Love
a
that.
I like it.
Yeah, good morning.
I
So,
feel
yeah,
all
not-
bougie.
9 a.m. every Thursday we are here. And reminder again, check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Culture Slate to find all our good content, behind the scenes stuff over there. Become a member and you can see more of me and Jordan and good times. It's a good time. That's all we have for this week. Make sure you subscribe everywhere and we'll see you all next week. And don't forget, may the force be with you.
Bye, guys.
Later.